what happened is that people in this country simply have grown a lot for quality democracy. If you followed, for instance, the anti-corruption movements in both Brazil and India, which are really now like grassroots movements, all the former democracy movement have now turned into anti-corruption. And what people say is they basically say, well, 15 years ago or 20 years ago, we rallied for free elections. But now we want more than this. We want to see where our money are going. We no longer want the money to go into expensive soccer stadium. We want our money into education. We want our money into health. These are simply far more difficult things to deliver. But the good news is that this is genuine demand. This is demand shared by more and more and more people. Now we haven't reached the critical mass everywhere, but we are really building up this critical mass, particularly in these two countries, in India and Brazil. Of course, they're complicated countries. I mean, collective action at such a huge scale, it's a tremendous problem. But what is important is to see beyond this pessimism. People want more, and none of them would say in any survey that they conceive of another alternative than democracy, of delivering this better quality of public services and at return for their money. And this is, I think, quite a gain. Where I would say that Larry is perfectly right to be a little bit pessimistic is on Turkey. And you see this quite a lot, that you have schemes these days. Again, I'm afraid this is about corruption. Schemes which do not look democratic at first, but which are extremely non-democratic, by which dictators, people who are apparently, populist leaders, let's call them better than dictators, come up with ways of redistributing public funds, particularly through public contracts, or in the case of Turkey, through public-private corrupt partnerships, basically rents, in a way that they manage to buy the media. And this is quite extraordinary. These two schemes are nearly identical in Hungary and Turkey. How without you will not read this any news in any newspaper. But if you research it the way we do, you will immediately find evidence that this is how these people buy electoral support. In other ways, they are very, very good. They master the democratic game. They manage to win votes by winning the media, and they manage to win media by just giving to some tycoons state contracts and telling them, please buy this television, or please buy this newspaper, which is in my opposition, and make it more friendly. This is a fantastic coup. I mean, it's the Berlusconi model all over again, but it's now making quite a lot of proselytes, and it's working very, very well. Well, but it's, in the end of the day, it's working because there is no alternative yet to this media. In the end of the day, it's working because it's people in these countries who get into this and who vote for these dictators. So again, I would not really say that this is a defeat of democracy. You can trick voters, you can cheat voters, and you can, unfortunately, buy votes, which I think is the most problematic thing. But in all of this, in the end of the day, still people get to vote, and you can still fight for their vote and come up with alternatives, ways of going around these obstacles. So yes, I would say that I'm rather an optimist in this panel.